Today we will talk about Microsoft Windows. When the world was still working in the black command line, Microsoft already considered the next generation of operating system based on graphical UI, so Windows 1.0 made its debut. Even though it was so rudimentary in today's eyes. But it was this version that laid much of the foundation for future Windows, the control panel, menus, windowed operations, multitasking. Especially the introduction of 256 colors and the mouse directly introduced people to a new world, a completely different world from the previous DOS. 2 years later, Microsoft launched Windows 2.0, a new generation of operating systems that took advantage of the high speed of the Intel 286/386 processor and the large memory for inter-program communication. In particular, the graphics feature was introduced, allowing Windows to achieve the window overlay effect for the first time. It was also from this version that more and more manufacturers started to develop software for Windows, and for the first time the market shares of Windows increased significantly. With the great development of hardware and display technology, Windows 3.0 introduced 16 color icons with 32 by 32 pixels for the first time. Windows 3.x consisted of 3 subversions, 3.0, 3.1, and 3.2, each of which had memorable features. For example, 3.0 improved the memory management technology, 3.1 added multimedia and network support, and 3.2 launched the first simplified Chinese version. It was from this version that Windows began to really come into the eyes of the Chinese people. Windows 95 was released in 1995, which was the first standalone version of Windows that no longer depended on DOS. The Start menu was first introduced in Win95 and gradually became a Windows icon over the next 20 years or so. Unlike the aforementioned Win9X, Windows 2000 was part of Microsoft's NT product line, i.e. the business operating system. Win 2000 is divided into 4 versions: Professional, Server, Advanced Server and Data Center. Although Win 2000 had one thing or another, it was not a home operating system after all. At that time, Microsoft was still troubled by the endless, blue screen of Win98, and urgently needed a new home system to shift the pressure. In this background, Windows Me was born. Perhaps it was the success of Win 2000 that made Microsoft happy, or it was the fiasco of Win Me that made the giant restless. Anyway, in October 2001, Microsoft released Windows XP, the first pure 32-bit desktop operating system, which added a new Luna graphical interface, different from the previous Win9X and Win 2000. WinXP provided better Wi-Fi support and added network QoS security mechanisms to make network management easier. It was also the first Microsoft Home system to integrate firewall, remote desktop, file restore, automatic error reporting, NTFS, and other features internally. It can be said that the technical changes of WinXP are no less than those of Win95. Windows Vista is the longest operating system in Microsoft's history, and it took 5 years from the previous generation of WinXP. 5 years to sharpen a sword, the birth of Vista is also amazed the world. Arrow, highlights, shadows, reflections, hairy glass, 3D interface, gadget sidebar, etc. Compared with XP, its improvements in the interface can be described as a sea change, so much so that many media at the time called it luxury cruise ship. Due to Vista's overly advanced hardware requirements and the lack of some features in its design, its market performance was extremely unsatisfactory. So Microsoft launched its improved version, Windows 7. Win 7 inherited the cool appearance of Vista while concentrating on fixing some old problems. The more obvious ones are System Resource Usage, UAC, User Account Control, GDI Acceleration, Superfetch. The result is that Win 7 has been significantly improved over Vista, both in terms of system fluency and user experience. In addition, due to the 2-year gap, when Win 7 was introduced, the mainstream computer configuration in the market had also been greatly improved, and all these contributed to the leap of Win 7 in user reputation. Windows 8 is Microsoft's first tile-based operating system, with an innovative swipe-based approach to human-computer interaction. In 2014, a new comprehensive operating system, Windows 10, was born, which incorporated many new designs, such as a new version of the Start menu, Notification panel, Personal Voice Assistant, Cortana, Virtual Desktop. Desktop Windows 10 includes many new designs, such as the new Start menu, Notification panel, Personal Voice Assistant, Cortana, Virtual Desktop, desktop search bar, timeline, tablet mode, etc., which effectively solved the problems encountered by Win 8/8.1 before. At the same time, in Windows 10, Metro applications, called Modern in Windows 10, no longer appear in full-screen form, but in the same standard windowed style as traditional Win32, which not only satisfies the habits of keyboard and mouse users, but also takes into account the operating experience of touchscreen. Out of consideration for the new working model and dissatisfaction with the performance of Windows 10, Microsoft released a new generation of Windows 11 on October 5, 2021. Compared with Windows 10, Windows 11 brings a lot of exciting changes. The first is the UI, the new version in addition to solve the current version of the problems, but also the innovative introduction of a lot of new design, such as new Explorer, new Settings panel, new Notification Center, new Operation Center, new Virtual Desktop, new Application Store, etc., so that the whole system looks brand new. Like and subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for more informative video.